Okay, hope you guys are doing well. Wanted to go over some of the expectations for chapters 5 and 6 this week. You're going to have a polling activity, 3 video activities, a quiz, and a reflection activity. Chapter 5 really encompasses the initial stage, the initial contact with your client, setting boundaries and limits, creating a condition that's facilitative to the client's treatment. Reciprocal empathy, empathetic communication. There's a big focus on empathy in this chapter. A lot of the quiz questions are going to revolve around that. Responding appropriately to your clients, proper use of self-disclosure. Chapter 6 activities, some of the takeaways. In Chapter 6, you're going to be really responding to your client and utilizing skills to promote your client's treatment, maybe to promote the development of goals, because you're never going to be creating goals for your client. You're going to be prompting them to tell you what they need and assisting them in creating goals, right? So it's really responding to your client by reframing, focusing, prompting, and promoting elaboration as they talk with you through use of open-ended questions, for example. So this week, your Chapter 6 activities are similar to 5, except for you'll have one less video activity and you'll have a case study activity that will ask you 2 questions specific to a case. So in Chapter 5, it really delves into interacting with your clients in the initial appointment, per se. Creating a facilitative condition that's going to encompass the utilization of empathy. Again, like I said, this chapter just really talks a lot about empathetic communication and response. And you're going to approach your client with respect. You're going to want to approach your client with authenticity or a sense of genuineness to build a rapport with them. You're going to set boundaries and limits. You're going to let them know what your expectations are, but you're also going to ask them what they expect from you as a practitioner, what they expect out of meeting with you, if it's in a therapeutic setting or if it's in a case management setting. You're going to want to explain to them what case management is, for instance. A lot of people don't know exactly what that entails. So just keeping in mind that you're going to want to explain those roles clearly, your role, their role, and set boundaries and expectations with one another. They're going to be different from client to client, so keep that in mind. And like I said, this chapter really talks a lot about empathy, reciprocal empathy. Just when you're communicating and you're responding to your clients, please come from a place of empathy, non-judgmental statements. I understand that what you just told me really is upsetting to you. Can you elaborate with me on why this is so upsetting for you? Like, even in your body language, you can promote empathy. You can smile, you can nod, you can lean in. This really helps to build a solid rapport with that client and a good foundation for treatment for them. This chapter also talks about the use of self-disclosure. My stance on that is go ahead and use it, but only if it's going to help your client in their progression through treatment or in a case management setting, or in any kind of setting, really. Just make sure it's going to help, it's going to be beneficial for the client for you to disclose whatever it is you might disclose. So for those of you that don't know what self-disclosure is, it's simply revealing something about yourself. I work with a lot of people who are in recovery, so peer support specialists utilize self-disclosure pretty frequently. When they talk to patients, they're telling them about their experience when they were using, their experience when they were in prison, and also their experience when they entered recovery for the first time. And this is really beneficial for their clients, because then their clients don't feel like they're alone. They don't feel like nobody else in the world has been through what they're going through. So it can really be beneficial for your clients to have somebody, to hear somebody's personal experience as well. Provide positive feedback as you're working with your clients. I like to always encourage my clients by highlighting their strengths, right? That's a form of positive feedback. An example might be, hey, I don't know, like yesterday I met with a client. She was, I guess she presented with strengths of perseverance, through her life. She's been through a lot of trauma, right? And my response to her was like, wow, you've been through a lot of trauma, but you're such a strong person, as evidenced by all of these goals that you have successfully completed, such as obtaining employment, and having transportation, personal transportation. I mean, these are strengths of yours, and that is an example of providing positive feedback, right? In there we go. I did want to throw this in because Carl Rogers, person-centered approach, meeting the client where they're at, is something you're going to hear over and over in the field. And he was kind of the founding father of that idea, and he talks a lot about empathy as well. In his practice, he encouraged empathy, right? So I think he kind of explains it pretty well. You understand the client's feelings, that you can demonstrate that you understand the client's feelings in the way that you respond. And then your tone of voice can even convey your ability to understand the client's feelings. So think about things like even your tone and your mannerisms, and when you're meeting with your clients. I think I skipped something here. Okay, no. Yeah. So this is more in the chapter 6 realm. Again, both of these chapters are very dense, so I tried to break it down simply here. So in chapter 6, it's really talking a lot more about your response to your client's statements, how to kind of organize what they're saying, how to evoke their ability to share with you what their goals might be. So you want to use personalizing statements, you want to use summarization. People are going to come at you, like yesterday when I met with this client of mine, it was super late. She rambled and rambled. For like 10 minutes, she went on and on about why she was late. I had to then step back and summarize what she was telling me and repeat it back to her to kind of help her organize her thoughts a little bit. And you're going to want to encourage complex reflection, utilize reframing. Okay, I had to move here. Go back. All right. So this is my son, by the way. Can you say hi, Finn?
Hi.
So I think I was getting ready to get into reframing. So an example of reframing would be a client bringing in their kid to see you, and they're highlighting to you all of this child's negative behaviors in a school setting, for example. An example of reframing would be trying to understand why this child exhibits such behaviors in the school setting. Could it be that he's being bullied? Could it be that he maybe has a situation that's gone undiagnosed, like ADHD or something like that? You're going to want to use focusing skills, and you can encourage that by avoiding closed-ended questions. So you're going to want to ask questions that are open-ended. So open-ended questions are any questions that cannot be answered with yes or no. That's going to encourage...
Hey, Mom.
Hang on. Shh, hold on. Gotta let me finish this, okay? It's going to... the open-ended questions are going to encourage your ability to gather more information to better serve your client. Understanding perception, the idea of, okay, stop for just a second. Let's stop for a second, okay? You're doing a great job. Understanding your client's needs from their perspective. What is your client's perception of whatever it is they're going through or their issues? Encourage elaboration again so that you can gather as much information as you can to serve your client. So there are no Helper Studio assignments this week, so you won't need to worry about doing a video recording of yourself. That might take some stress off of you. And take a deep breath, get some self-care this week, do something for yourself. We want to avoid compassion fatigue the best that we can, so that we can, again, be of service to the people that we're working with, okay? Hope you guys have a great day. Can you say bye?
Bye.